Plaintiff Judith Mitchell says as a result of her son's involvement in a gang, she became a victim of 2 drive-by shootings, and thus she became a crack addict. Judith claims she has now been clean for 12 years, and she's suing her daughter today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Katrina Hernandez says after she had her son, she moved out of her mother's home because she didn't want her child around Judith's crack use. Katrina claims she and Judith don't speak anymore, and she's countersuing for harassment and defamation.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I'm here today. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I'm a survivor of drive-by shootings and also a survivor of being a crackhead. I had a great job with the state of Colorado. I raised 3 kids on my own. They were very spoiled. When they became teenagers, my daughter got pregnant young, moved in her boyfriend and my grandson, and my 2 other sons, they moved in their significant others, and
I had your family.
Yeah, I had a house full of teenagers that weren't paying rent or helping me with bills or food.
And running you crazy.
Running me crazy. So I bought a sign that said, "Attention teenagers, get a job, pay rent, or get out." Well, they ended up getting out above the stairs because the bedrooms are downstairs. So
y'all write that down.
Well, they all moved.
A lot of y'all had that same situation.
Defendant Katrina Hernandez is being sued by her mother, who she claims was a crack addict.
Go ahead.
They actually all moved out, and as a result, though, right before then, my sons got involved with gangs and drugs. I lived through 2 drive-by shootings. Because both my sons start selling crack, I got addicted to it for 2 years. I ended up losing my great job. Everything went downhill. I actually wrote a suicide note, but God brought me through all of that.
How long has it been since you've
12
been
years.
in recovery? Good.
Well, thank you. The only one who actually helped me was my husband now. We've been together 12 years, and he basically said, "Stop it or get out." And I would have been homeless. So I was like, thank goodness for my husband.
Good. Let me get some background from you about you and your mom's relationship.
Well, it's kind of been rocky. We tend to not get along more.
How long? Since what age?
Probably after I moved out.
What age was that?
I was 16.
Why did you move out at 16?
Well, her situation wasn't good. She just told you about it.
Based on her addiction at that time?
Yeah, I didn't want my son around it.
Okay.
So.
And she quit 12 years ago, so how's it been in the last 12 years?
Off and on, we're good and we're not. She's real sensitive. She likes to be included in stuff. I feel like as me, that's not my responsibility to include my mom.
In what type of things?
Like if I take my kids out to the zoo or to go do something, family time with me and my husband and my kids, I feel like that's our family time, and she gets upset if I don't include her.
How often is she included in your activities with your children?
We mostly don't speak.
Why? You don't know why you don't speak to your mom?
She don't speak to me and I don't speak to her. I'm about my family. I love my kids, and I feel like
she's family too, and she's grandma.
She's never offered to take my kids.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I have a son that's doing 32 years, dying of liver failure in prison. We go visit him, and she doesn't go visit him or have anything to do with him.
Has he been in trouble before that?
He was got the 3 strikes.
Okay, so he was in trouble regularly.
Yeah.
And you expected her to continue to just keep supporting him, although he loves prison. He loves to go home. This is your son. Certainly you might want to do it. That's not her son. That's her brother. And let me tell you something. If my brothers, which a couple of them have, got in trouble repeatedly, I'm not going to see them, and maybe you got one good time. And that's it. I'm not going to keep driving up there. What else?
I was just trying to say that I did invited her to a Sweet 16 I threw for my granddaughter last year, right after I lent her the money, and I told her, Katrina, please attend, please. She not only did not show up, she didn't even drop off a gift.
And I don't think the issue is so much her not coming to see you. What she said was, I think, a bigger issue, and that is not allowing you to spend quality time with her family and your grandchildren in particular.
Defendant Katrina Hernandez is being sued by her mother, who she claims was a crack addict.
Let's get to the case, though.
Okay.
The loan. Tell me about the loan.
Okay, so last May, I was approached by her and she asked me to lend her $5,000 because they're purchasing their new home.
You should have told her to come get it at the family picnic. She'd have been that in. She'd have been that in. Go ahead.
I was hesitant because of our relationship is not close. I went ahead and did it, and she promised me.
When was she to repay?
I told her, just pay me in full. Take your time. I'm not in a hurry for it. Pay me whatever you want. Just pay me in full.
Okay.
And she promised me. Her first payment, I have a booklet of receipts and this, and a copy of the cashier's check.
Okay. She's paid sporadically, obviously.
Well, her first payment was $500 in July. I was so happy, and she paid for a whole year until I witnessed my grandson getting bullied. And because I spoke up about it, she told me to stay out of her business.
Where were you all at when you witnessed
she actually invited me for the first time to go swimming by their house. They
So
have
you
a
were
nice
there?
pool.
Was she there?
Yes.
All right. And her son was getting bullied,
Yes.
you believed? And so you intervened and she didn't like that?
Oh, she got really upset and said, stay out of her life. It's none of my business. And I told her my grandson is
Okay, so I see what's going on. So let me hear from you on the loan, ma'am.
In May, I did ask her to borrow $3. She went to the bank, and when she came back, she did have a check for $5. It was a gift. She didn't tell me that I had to pay her back. So a few months later, she needed help, so I started paying her back. I thought she wanted to help me because, my grandmother helped her out.
Did she ever refer to the money as a loan?
No, she asked me if I would help her.
So never, as of today, she has never referred to it as a loan.
No. Well, from the text messages,
you just found out when you came here. You thought they told she told you was coming for a trip to downtown Chicago, most beautiful downtown. If you told me to come for a trip, and you said, well, let's just stop in on Judge Mathis, just see the show for like 3 minutes, then we'll go shopping. I would do that. So that's how she got you here.
It wasn't a loan.
I know, but you said
she's repeatedly.
I'm asking. You said you didn't know and she hadn't asked you.
She did ask for the money back.
That's where we're at. What do you have?
I also have text messages that she told me I'm out of my mind.
Say she didn't know anything about it. Say she didn't know until she got here.
I also sent her a
You're out of your mind if you think I'm going to give you anything after you not only chose to make my business public, but you've lied about me and painted you the victim. You gave her something anyway?
That was after the fact.
Yeah, you changed your mind.
Okay, I didn't give her anything after those text messages, is what I'm saying. I gave her money before that.
As a gift. As a gift? Yeah, you're non-responsive. So I'm going to grant you your judgment. She's non-responsive to my question, and therefore you win.
Thank you,
Judgment
Your
for the
Honor.
plaintiff, your claim is dismissed for non-responsive. That's a good approach. You don't get perjury. You don't go to jail. You just be quiet when you're about to lie. All right, judgment for the plaintiff.